Somewhere, Patrick Mahomes must be grinning from ear to ear. Not because of another stunning touchdown pass or a last-second comeback win, but because the Kansas City Chiefs took a big step toward securing football's most valuable player. Let's get into the details of that, but first, be sure to hit that like button and let me know what you want to see the Chiefs pick in this draft. Now, let's get into the details. In a move that unfolded with all the tension and excitement fans could hope for, the Chiefs selected Ohio State offensive lineman Josh Simmons with the 32nd overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. And trust me, Chiefs Kingdom, this was no ordinary pick. Let's rewind the clock for a moment. The Eagles made a bold trade for the 31st pick, pushing the Chiefs back to the 32nd pick. Their rightful spot, some would say, but not without a payoff. Kansas City picked up an extra 5th-round pick. In the process, a huge win considering they had no 5th or 6th-round picks. Brett Veach, ever the architect, played the gamble masterfully, sticking to the biggest need on this roster, bolstering the offensive line. The draft board was an absolute mess compared to the predictions. Will Johnson, a player many considered a guaranteed top 10 pick, was taken in the 1st round. Mike Green, who was expected to go at number 15, was also available. The temptation to take one of these big names must have been overwhelming. It was the kind of temptation that echoes the Garden of Eden story, and Brett Veach, our general manager, didn't grab the forbidden fruit. Instead, he stuck to the plan, prioritizing protecting Mahomes over flashy names. And because of it, the Chiefs may have gotten one of the best picks of the draft. Now, yes, Josh Simmons has a history of injuries, and that's the first thing many skeptics will point to. But let's be clear. The Chiefs have an elite medical staff. If they gave the green light, that's all the confidence we need. Had Simmons stayed healthy, there's no doubt he would have been a top 10 pick. Possibly even the first offensive lineman off the board. Instead, fate gave Kansas City a chance to scoop up a blue-chip player at a bargain price. Breaking down Simmons' game, he's an exceptional athlete for his size, boasting a quality frame and serious power. He showed remarkable growth at Ohio State, particularly in cutting down penalties, something that plagued him earlier during his time at San Diego State. Sure, there's some rawness in his play, and that knee injury will need to be monitored, but if he hits his ceiling, this is the kind of move that could define a season, or even a dynasty. Think about the ripple effects, with Jalen Moore now signed and Simmons in the fold. The left tackle spot, a glaring hole after moving on from Joe Thuney, suddenly looks solid. Simmons could slide inside to guard if Moore locks down the tackle role, which means Kingsley Suamataia wouldn't be rushed into a starting position he may not be ready for. Depth, flexibility, and upside. Brett Veach just checked every box. Chiefs fans were worried about heading into the offseason. Grading the pick? It's an A in my book, no question. While Will Johnson and Mike Green were tempting names, the smart, calculated move was strengthening the offensive line, especially after watching Mahomes scramble for his life far too often last year. Let's not overlook just how dominant Simmons can be in pass protection. His pass-blocking grade hit an impressive 74.5, with an overall PFF grade of 68.7. Most importantly, 0 sacks allowed. That's right, 0. Dan Brugler from The Athletic raved about Simmons' nimble footwork, body control, and potential to be a long-term starting left tackle, noting that his only question mark is medical, not talent. That's a bet worth making for a team eyeing a 3rd straight Super Bowl title. And if you're wondering about his strength, consider this. Simmons put up 33 reps on the bench press during testing. That's serious muscle. It's not often you find someone with that combination of athleticism and raw power sitting at the end of the 1st round. For Chiefs Kingdom, this move sets up the entire rest of the offseason beautifully. With the offensive line fortified, Kansas City can now turn its focus to adding weapons at wide receiver, shoring up the cornerback room, and maybe grabbing an edge rusher for good measure. Brett Veach still holds 8 more picks, and after watching him maneuver like a chess grandmaster tonight, there's every reason to believe he's not done cooking up a masterpiece. As we head deeper into draft weekend, the question isn't whether the Chiefs will stay competitive. It's how much better they'll be. Losing a player like Joe Thuney hurt, no doubt. But looking at this new configuration, with Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor, Jalen Moore, and now Josh Simmons, it's easy to believe the offensive line will be more dominant, not less. Add in the returning depth of Mike Caliendo, Wanya, Morris, and Kingsley, and suddenly Mahomes has a fortress in front of him once again. And that leads us to the most important point of all. This team is positioned not just to defend its Super Bowl title, but to dominate even more than last season. Mahomes can focus on what he does best, knowing he has an army standing between him and the oncoming rush. But Chiefs Kingdom, now it's your turn. How would you grade the selection of Josh Simmons? Were you hoping for a flashier pick, like Will, Johnson, or Mike Green? Or are you thrilled that Brett Veach stuck to the plan and fortified the trenches? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If we zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture, this selection of Josh Simmons fits perfectly into the larger theme of how Brett Veach has been building this team. Calculated risks with massive upside. It's the same philosophy that brought in Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and even guys like Nick Bolton, players overlooked by others, but molded into core pillars for Kansas City's dynasty. And honestly, Chiefs Kingdom, you can already start to envision the ripple effects on the field. Imagine Mahomes stepping back into the pocket, having those extra crucial seconds to let a deep ball develop. Imagine Isaiah Pacheco finding new rushing lanes behind Simmons' raw power and Jalen Moore's agility. This isn't just about protection. It's about giving the offense the freedom to be even more explosive and dangerous than we've ever seen. What stands out most about Simmons is not just his strength or pass-blocking ability. It's his mentality. Coming off injuries, transferring from San Diego State to Ohio State, fighting through adversity, and still elevating his play year over year shows a level of resilience and hunger that you simply can't teach. Those are the kinds of players who thrive in Kansas City's culture. Players who don't just want to win, they expect to. This pick also sends a powerful message to the rest of the AFC. The Chiefs are not resting on their laurels. They're not getting comfortable. They're getting better, smarter, stronger, and more terrifying for anyone who dares to challenge them. With Mahomes at the helm, and now a reloaded offensive line, the road to the Super Bowl continues to run straight through Arrowhead Stadium. Looking ahead, it's going to be fascinating to see how the rest of this draft weekend unfolds. There's still a golden opportunity to grab a wide receiver, maybe another playmaker in the secondary, and continue to stack talent. But tonight is a win. A massive one. Chiefs fans, tell me, who do you want Kansas City to target next? Another weapon for Mahomes? A defensive star to lock down opponents? I want to hear your dream pick. Drop it down below in the comments. And if you loved this breakdown and want more exclusive Chiefs coverage all season long, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of Chiefs Kingdom greatness. Let's ride this wave together. The dynasty isn't slowing down anytime soon. Go Chiefs!